Mighty Roo and Cuckoo Kachoo to you and all my nobodies not watching out there. Funny enough, this is actually the moment I had, before it actually stopped, I pressed the button to stop it, but it didn't hear the last thing I was going to say, which was, ooh, I want to stop here because I really like this. I think it's an artistic thing. Like, I like this frame here. Although, I'm a little concerned about her. She seems sort of out of it, but it's like, I like the art. Like, she looks very pretty. Her lips are very full, her hair and everything just sort of fits her character. Kadir's in the background. The art of the smoke is, if you're watching that, has this sort of like a living quality to it, almost like Zero from Nightmare Before Christmas. She's not that, I mean, her movement is animated, and she seems very, I don't know, I want to say dead, but also alive. And I feel like that really gets across the point. I don't know. I think it just, she's got this sort of like, she looks a little drugged, which I don't like, but I think she isn't. You know, she's just sort of maybe still reeling from, you know, that doesn't make sense. She's been a vampire long enough. She shouldn't really have a problem with the fact that she just, you know, drank blood and she just came here and all that. I don't really see it happening, but anyway, I just thought it was a nice artistic moment to stop on, and I'd forgotten how long the thing went on. So, yeah. But we're moving on. D'Angelo, Hope, Tamika, Agathon. Those are all people from the last time. I suppose that's better than nothing, but no evidence? Really? What, are they all part of the what? Honestly, it felt as someone had already cleaned up most of the egregious stuff before I arrived. Are they all dead? Because I might take offense to that, having played the last game, even if I didn't like it. Like, not all of them. Tamika, I liked. D'Angelo, I didn't really get too close to. Agathon, fuck that guy. He was really the worst. And if Hope's in there, even though she didn't really help me much, I'm gonna be pissed. Sounds like the Anarchs. No, sounds like, I mean, I guess it was actually, but okay. I'll definitely try and check that place again, but I feel I'd need some sort of expert to accompany me, an advanced investigator who would show me the ropes. Someone tall and handsome, maybe. Perhaps somebody who had been around for a long time. Toreador, good with a sword. Eastern European. Likes baseball. Doesn't talk a lot, but knows his shit. Sitting right there next to me, please. Yeah, if you don't mind, diplomatic incident, I'll go with you. What is that? Do they really dislike you that much? Are you that old school, like, in the thing? I don't know, there's just something about the way they animated her, like, her face hair, just like, I don't know what it is that I like so much. Like, I don't like that she looks drugged. It's not about her hairstyle. She looks very American anime, and it fits her character or whatever, but there's something about it, like, that I just really like. Like, it's, like, hard to say exactly what it is. Maybe it's they keep making the focus change back and forth, and that tricks your eyes into thinking it's a new thing, or maybe she looks like another character. Like, yeah, she kind of looks like Mavis from Hotel Transylvania, but she doesn't. Like, yeah, like Mavis from Hotel Transylvania. What, big whoop, you want to fight about it? But, like, she doesn't. Just a bit. It's like, okay, she's got the little V reverse Widow's Peak bangs thing going on. I don't know. I think it's something else. I can't quite put my finger on. Julie, any better ideas? Actually, this very note gave me one, but I will need to set it up first. I'll get back to you about that. You know these people? I've had passing contact with each of them. Part and parcel of the job, you know. Thinking back to the last game, that regardless of how canon it is or isn't, seems fair. Yeah, no, it's like, look, I drove people here and there, and I know they exist, and Kadir was not part of, you know, or was he? Was he there that last moment where he just, no, it was the other guy. I suppose. Can you help me out with this? The way I'd tackle it would be, look at one person on the list every night, ask around about them, and see if what they know, if you do manage to meet them. That's solid advice. If I manage to meet them. Motherfucker, they're vampires, and they might be trying to lay low, or be dead. You know? They might just be shadows of what they were, or... That's a... If you meet me as Kadir, if I were Kadir, I'd be like, if you meet me, that's a thing. That's an if. You happen to have a position, and we happen to have a back and forth, but you know we're kind of like not super into each other. Like, they're not particularly easy to get a hold of. Anyways, always prefer to be a bit a little off the grid, but nowadays they're practically all in hiding. If not, MIA or dead. Did I not just say? Exactly. Funny coincidence. Well, technically it seems like Juliet existed at the same time, or very, very near the same time the first game took place. Like, shortly after. But it also seems like, well, it seems like at least it started after that first game ended, because it was a short time period. And then time passed, and it was like 6 months later. But they have an overlap somehow. It is not my job to speculate. In other words, he knows something, but is not at liberty to say. Thank you for pointing it out to everybody else. Guess I'll find out anyway if I do meet them. And why one night each? Shouldn't I investigate each loot's thread until we're satisfied? It's like, he's actually trying to help the gamers here, the real person. It should be something that, like, I don't know, maybe that's what, like, people did too much and they were, like, annoyed last time. Because I know that I tried to do that, and I was like, wait, I can't meet them all, and I had to look it up and be like, no, you have to get through the line to get any benefit. If you just sit there and rotate, you get nothing. Like, you could literally gain no benefit if you wanted to screw yourself over by just being like, well, this looks interesting, and you kept doing that and just trying new things all the time. You get nothing, or like so little that it's not useful. In a perfect world, you'd have all the time you needed, but this is not a perfect world. They'll try to brute force a solution to the case as soon as possible. See? Was that so hard to just point that out? So you don't have to be, like, annoyed if you're one of the people who actually got the game to begin with early on, which I'm not right now, but, you know, just telling people, like, you know, level caps at, like, fucking 15, 16 nights or whatever, dude. So, spend your time wisely. Then after that, you get to a certain point, they do tell you, I think, like, after this, you're done. Like, you can't, like, do those things anymore, and you're already in your main game. It's like, well, what am I supposed to do? It's like, go back to another save, you fool. I suspect that 4 nights from now, once the celebrations of power are over, they'll ask for your final... Fuck! Alright! That's shorter than I expected. It's a very short thing. I'm just now getting them on my list. Okay, why? Fucked up. Yeah, no, holy hell, yeah. Like, nah, you've been a vampire for long enough. You get 4 nights. Pick one a night. But maybe it means I don't have to go through everything. I just spend the entire night on them. It's not like there was a way that you could go through all of them that I can recall, like, you know? To be brutally honest, my focus wouldn't be on solving the murder. Instead, focus on not embarrassing yourself. Honestly, I feel like that's really solid advice, man. Like, that's... I think that they're sort of taking it more seriously from the gameplay perspective. Like, just figure it out how the game works this time. Try not to fail horribly, so that next time you play it'll be more meaningful. Fucked up. Y'all got me fucked up. This is part of why I didn't want you to get involved. You couldn't possibly think Arturo had you involved in all the... out of the goodness of his heart. Now he's... yeah, no, he's a douchebag. The entirety of your investigation is just for show. You were meant to be an unwitting actor. Wow, that was... man, Kadir was actually kind of putting his ass out here for you. Like, not like... in a negative way. He's, you know, going out on a limb is a better way to put it. But he's risking his shit. Why? He's like, I don't know, I just like you for some reason. If it wasn't for the loyalty I feel towards Kadir, Samira, and my sire, God knows the memory of my embrace would still hold too much sway on me. I'd have plotted a vendetta against these assholes long ago. Huh. But you don't even like your sire. Your sire was a... your sire's like, good, you shot me. It meant nothing, but at least you have some balls, and I like balls, Julia, so... noms. I ruined your life, I did all this! But you proved yourself valid to the clan, so... take this shitty position as a... in-between, like... the fuck? But, let's be frank, even if I thought that lying to Mia about being sympathetic to the New York City anarchs yesterday could benefit me, I still wouldn't do it. It would feel like betrayal. Did I lie to them yesterday? What happened yesterday? Something about the Camaria's ideals that still ring true to me. A belief in individual excellence and nobility, or the way time-tested traditions can ground us in this terrifying new existence. It's like, I don't just sounds like somebody hit you with a real hard dominate, but I mean, who am I to judge? You are wearing what basically looks like a BDSM collar, and I'm like, haha, joke's on you, I'm into that shit, but like I don't necessarily feel like you as a La Sombra would be particularly like, I don't really remember how Clan La Sombra works to love their own sires. I think they're pretty much like Sith. They're just like, nah, fam, well, everybody has to serve a purpose, and we often overthrow each other. And then this whole adding themselves to the Camarilla is, yeah, whatever. But being on the receiving end of this shitty neo-feudal structure and seeing it firsthand how the elites always play by their own rules regardless, like, yeah, they get to do whatever they want. I'm stuck hanging at a burger joint waiting for whatever rando to show up and say, hi. Can't help but think there must be something better out there. The kind of Camarilla that would actually deserve the slavish loyalty from kindred like Kadir. That's the thing. That's it right there. He does that because it used to maybe be like that, because he came from a time when, before the Camarilla was so set, he's lived through inquisitions and seen people fuck up and get killed, or fuck up and get other people killed, or betray. Like, he's seen so many other kindred die. He likes his place. He's good at what he does. It keeps him safe. He doesn't take too much flack, but there's a lot of runaround. But he gets to be a good in-between, and he follows through, and he watches out for the ones like you that he thinks have potential. Penny for your thoughts. I take a drag from my cigarette. I don't feel like I'm pissed off. I think it's just like, that's just the Camarilla. The months of hazing, I didn't expect a random act of kindness. Kind of bullshit as, well, you know, that's how the Camarilla works, isn't it? More often than it's necessary, I'd say. But this time, it's a risky play. In my experience, if one doesn't simply display some cunning, they can expectedly turn a situation like this. Oh, if one simply displays, yeah. The court, part of the court, assumes that you're unable to surprise them in this regard. But if you do, by the end of this investigation, you might as well pull yourself out of the ditch you're in. See, it doesn't seem like he's selling me some bullshit. His position and the whole way this is working, the way it keeps going in and out of focus, does make me worry that he's using, you know, presence on me. But knowing Kadir from the last time, he doesn't strike me as the type of person who puts his points into presence. He dabbles in aspects enough so that he doesn't have to ask questions. He uses presence enough so that he doesn't have to ask twice. But I feel like celerity, it's like, no, I'll just cut your head off if I have to. And he's old enough to have more things. Like, he could learn other things. He could learn dominate. He could learn other skills. Like, that would be a night to remember. So, where should I go first? Should go with me, as it happens. I'm out here, only out here because I was ordered to drive Aisling to the art-hole. And you guess the name of her protege. Oh, so that's who Agathon is? Or was it nobody knows? It's a complicated thing, you see. I'm on the clock, so let's get a move on. Work your magic, fairy godfather. Not nice, just that was the wrong move, but I couldn't make her nod, so whatever. Still not done with this bit. Not while it's still bothering you. It's like, it's still funny because you still get annoyed. I'm leaving you behind if you don't keep up. His eyes move this time. So I already told Kadir and numerous times at that. I have no idea what happened with Agathon. The Broadway chantry, the part of the chantry of the Five Boroughs, is Aisling's usual hangout place these past few nights. She's in a hurry and not willing to talk. Do you have any idea about his connection to kindred going by the name of Tamika, D'Angelo, and Hope? I don't. I made it a point to keep our relationship strictly professional, and never meddled in his personal affairs unless they influence our work, that is. But it only happened one time. Fucking that one... Yeah, no. That one girl... at some point I was like, kind of want to join you. This Agathon guy sucks balls. Like, he sucks. Also, I'm not a big fan of Aisling. Whatever. Ah, yes, an infamous Juno case. Was there any conflict between you two? Were you two in any conflict about anything? Something that might have driven a wedge between you two? A pause which is slightly too long for me not to get suspicious. Nothing I can think of, but I did take offense to one thing. It's quite rude of him not to give me a proper warning before he departed. Still in this line of work, he's not particularly favored by folks. With a perfect grasp of savoir-vivre. I do hope his search will bring him back, right where he started, begging me to take him back in. The boy is talented, and I did put a lot of time mentoring it. It did kind of seem like he did have skill, not just because of Aisling, but because of others. Like, he was something of a prodigy, but also was a higher gen just because of Aisling, and then he had skill, he had talent, he was a prodigy, but was just terrible. Like, too emotionally involved for a Tremere. Didn't think straight. It's like, motherfucker, are you sure you're a Tremere? Because you're real good at all this blood magic shit, but you're a big old dummy when it comes to every other part of being a Tremere. If he doesn't, well, que sera, sera. No skin off my back. It totally is. You will take offense to it. And also, have you lost weight? You look thinner. Not in a bad way. Can't just say that to people. Especially women. But you look... I don't know. Never mind. So you won't even entertain a possibility that he found himself in harm's way. I know an answer to that one. Researcher's mindset. She doesn't think it's worth considering the worst case scenario. Seriously, it just takes things as they come. Like, I mean, what evidence do I have to say that he's in harm's... He fucked... Well, you have a lot of evidence, actually. He kept fucking about with the one chick. They had a very Looney Tunes romance. You know? It was very Lady Gaga, bad romance. Like, oh, all that shit. Yeah, ooh la la, all that shit. Precisely. For climate change, scientists don't... Oh wait, didn't operate this way. Most would have put a bullet in their own head long ago. That's one way to look at it. Again, very... Okay. That's a cheery thought. It's like, that's one way to look at it. They'd be like, oh, can't do anything myself. I know what's going to happen. Pew! It's like... Or they could do the exact opposite of that. And I'm just going to leave it at that. I'd like to search the Chantry for Agathon's whereabouts. Our good sheriff already did that long ago. You'd just be wasting your time, and ours, and for that matter. Didn't you say Helen was waiting for us, Goodyear? A girl... Give the girl 15 minutes, Aisling. A minimal support for an ongoing investigation, and besides, she has proclivity for finding things everyone else has overlooked. 10 minutes. And if you attempt to pass this door, or that one up there, I can't guarantee you'll walk out of here alive. It's like, yeah, no, that's one of those things, like, this place is not made for anything that isn't us, so, or allowed. And I'm not turning it off for you. You burst into flames because your blood starts to become boiling oil, gasoline. I don't. Too bad for you. Thank you very much, High Regent. Just get on with it! Get on with it! Get on with it! Get on with it! My time here is practically up, and I found nothing of use. I think there was a moment there, and I kind of clicked the button. It was just basically spirally stars for a second, and nothing actually was an option, but maybe I should have watched. I don't know. It seems Agathon was completely dedicated to his work. Even his personal quarters are as barren as it gets. No personal touch whatsoever. Nothing I could go by. It's all research, research, research. He seems like such a bore. Focus, Julia. What would you do if you were a warlock workaholic? Where would you leave clues to your whereabouts? Not here. What would you do if you found yourself in a mortal danger and wanted to code it now? It's loose. What is going on there? Was that... Oh, there's a shadow person. Shadow people. Yeah, it's facing this way, huh? First, a place where I saw a shadowy silhouette appear. It's a brick wall, and one of the bricks is loose. Kadir and Isling are in another room right now, still discussing the party. It's not that bad. You ought to learn how to find humor in the little things. It's demeaning, Sheriff. That's all there is to it. It's time I work the brick loose until I can grip it. Then I tug it as silently as possible, revealing a hole in the wall. Inside, there's a book. I browse through it quickly. Agathon's diary. That's a bingo. I don't even know how to deal with that right there. It's like I say that thing as a joke because it's a reference to a Quentin Tarantino movie and character, but I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. Your 10 minutes are up. So you have 15 minutes, in fact. So are you done here? If I could just get 5... Nah, that's not gonna happen. I still feel like I could stumble upon something here if I just look a little more. No way, Julia. Time to go. Like, you got more. Put the brick back. Oh! Just in front of everybody. Cool, yeah. And, it looked like Agathon left it, so this is Chantry. Find it presumably the High Regent, but my investigation takes priority for now. But Kadir and Ising adieu, and, start searching for a secluded place to read the diary. Place right here should be secluded enough for me to browse through. Diary in peace. Quickly start skimming the book, singling out sentences, paragraphs that look interesting, trying to get a general idea of what kind of person Agathon is, or at least I hope. The more I read, the clearer the image of the person becomes. He's working under a High Regent for 15 years. His underlying shame is the way he talks about Tremere magic. He always describes himself to be too slow on the uptake to learn something. Too much of an amateur. Okay, because I thought he was like a prodigy, but whatever. He was really into tying his self-worth to his wisdom. The entries beginning in 2012 are terrifyingly regular. The handwriting is extraordinarily neat. The author's absolute dedication to his study is palpable. I thought he was a fucking prodigy, dude. What the... If there's anything to his unlife besides work, it's his relationship with 3 important women he holds dear. First is his master, Isling Sturbridge, whom he reveres for knowledge, stoicism, and willingness to experiment. I was hoping to find some details about her secretive work here, but no dice. Looks like he was willing to risk someone finding all that about his inner life, but not anything that could harm her studies. A good pupil, serving a good mentor. I'm jealous. Second is another warlock, his ex-lover Juno, who he feels guilty about. They had a conflict in which Isling was involved. Having to choose between the two, he chose Isling. Did he, though? Did he? According to Agathon, there was never real love between him and Juno. First it was shared interest, then a growing disconnect, and ultimately guilt. Which made him feel responsible for her. Maybe it's just excuses. He strikes me as the kind of person who spends most of his time inside his head. Doesn't sound like someone you could have a fulfilling romance with. That one time in high school, it's like, just go back to Dakota. One day Dakota might realize this. Oh, No, I think I said the wrong thing there. I would take